In a quiet suburban area near Sydney, Australia, David Stein was enjoying a peaceful afternoon in his garden when he noticed something strange. His dog, who usually played happily in the backyard, suddenly stopped dead in her tracks, growled, and slowly backed away. Intrigued, Stein approached the mulch pile where the animal had fixed her attention. At first glance it seemed like an innocent spot, but there was an eerie feeling in the air. Something was moving among the leaves and loose soil. Unbeknownst to him, he was about to discover one of the most shocking findings of his life. Over the following days, Stein's unease grew. He decided to inspect his garden more thoroughly, and upon removing part of the mulch, saw a flash of something dark and shiny disappearing into the undergrowth. It was then that he made the decision to call a snake capture specialist, fearing that his home was being invaded by something far larger than he could handle alone. Snake catcher Dylan Cooper arrived at the scene and began a detailed inspection. During the first few minutes, everything seemed normal until Cooper suddenly discovered something that left him speechless. As they removed the mulch, Stein and Cooper found an astonishing number of reptiles hidden in the ground. It wasn't just one or two snakes but a total of 102 red-bellied black snakes, Pseudechis porphyriacus, a highly venomous species common in the region. Among them were pregnant females and newborns, indicating that the garden had served as a breeding refuge for these predators. The collection of the reptiles was an arduous and meticulous task. Cooper and his team worked carefully to capture each snake without risking their safety or that of the house's residents. One by one, the snakes were placed in specialized bags for safe transport. The final count of over 100 snakes surprised even wildlife experts. The discovery of such a large number of venomous snakes in one place has been classified as an extremely rare event. Corey Carawaro, owner of the company Relocation, stated that in his career he had never encountered such a large concentration of venomous snakes in a single location. Normally, in similar situations one might expect to find perhaps a dozen specimens or, in exceptional cases, around 30. And usually they are non-venomous species like carpet pythons. Australian herpetologist Scott Eiper pointed out that while the case is unusual, it should not cause alarm, as these types of events are generally isolated and do not pose a constant threat to the community. After the capture, authorities approved the relocation of the snakes to a national park far from urban areas. This measure ensures that the animals are released into a suitable habitat where they can play their role in the ecosystem without posing a risk to humans. To prevent future similar incidents, Stein decided to completely remove the mulch from his garden. He has also begun implementing preventive measures, such as keeping vegetation under control and eliminating any other elements that could serve as shelter for snakes. Experts recommend that residents in areas inhabited by venomous snakes keep their yards tidy, avoid accumulating wood piles or debris, and seal possible entry points to their homes to prevent unwanted encounters with these reptiles. Interestingly, while some people seek to distance themselves from these animals, others find them fascinating and choose to live alongside them. One such example is Socrates Christoforou, a resident of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, who has turned his garage into a private serpentarium housing more than 200 exotic snakes. His collection includes rare species like green tree pythons and Amazon basin boas. The most surprising aspect is that his family shares his passion for these animals, and even his children have learned to handle them confidently. Christoforou believes that education is key to eliminating unfounded fears about snakes and fostering respect for wildlife. Although encounters like Stein's are rare, wildlife experts reiterate the importance of knowing local species and understanding how to react in the event of encountering a venomous snake. In most cases, these reptiles do not seek conflict with humans and only attack when they feel threatened. Staying calm, avoiding sudden movements, and contacting a specialist in snake capture and relocation are the best strategies for handling such encounters safely. So, would you have a snake of this type in your house? I read you in the comments.